Let's see. Tom is going to meet us in a second. It should be here. Ça va? Should we do it in English or in French today? Let's see. Tell us in the comments, French or English?
Bonjour. Bonjour. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you had a great day. And today, Alex and I, we're here for a very specific and a very special occasion. Alex, why are we here today?
I know. Today we're here for honestly something that we've been waiting for years. The official announcement of our first book
Yes,
that's
it's right
coming out
here.
on September 8th. And for the first time ever, we're doing something in partnership with Talk Live Shop where you'll be able to get your signed copies if you comment the word shop, okay, or if you click the link in the description for YouTube and Facebook. Okay, so if you're watching from YouTube, if you're watching from Facebook, there is a link below in the description. Click on this link, get your signed copy. Okay, if you get and you pre-order the book today, Tom and I will sign and you will receive your copy the week of September 8th. But Tom, any question we can respond about
So,
today's book?
first thing you need to know is we're going to answer all of your questions today. We're going to take the time to be with you. We're going to be answering all the questions on the chat on the left. So I can see Arsene, I can see Arnie, I can
Yeah.
see Melissa, Alexandria, Zayan, Vanish, Taylor. Bonjour tout le monde. We also have Zayan too. Bonjour, bonjour. I hope everybody is doing so well. If you have any question about the book or anything you want to know, please let us know. The first thing that I would start with is that Alex and I, we took about 2 years to write this book. It was something we always had in the back of our heads about something that would be a bit different, something that would not be your typical book when you would, because we've seen so many books where you need
Yeah.
to get motivational, you need to know how to make money, you need to know how to look for something better. Our book is different in a way that it's for you to be able to read it, even if you love the French language, even if you don't love the French language, even if you don't like French at all. Our only goal is for you to, at the end of the book, to have read the book and maybe have changed one or two routines in your daily life, in your daily habits that will be
Yeah.
different and that will make your life much better on the long term. So all you have to
Absolutely.
do is to come and shop to be able
We
to get your signed version of the book. And Alex and I will be answering all of the questions. So far we don't have many questions. We have lots of
yes.
people saying hi, but no questions yet. So please, guys, go ahead,
If
ask
you
us all the questions that you have.
Yeah, if you're wondering, once again on Instagram, comment the word shop to get your signed copy of our new book, Pardon Our French, The Parisian Way to a Happier Life. If you're watching from YouTube or Facebook, you can click in the link in the description. There is a link that will take you to the Talk Shop Live website where you'll be able to get your copy and you will receive of September 8th. And this will be a special signed copy. This is the absolute first time, okay, we're giving the chance to get a signed copy. So far, it's only be like regular pre-orders, and we decided to do it because I know a lot of you have been asking in the DMs, have been asking us in real life. But like just like Tom said, this is a guide to live your life a little more French. Obviously, Tom and I have had the chance to grow up in this beautiful country. We now live in the US, and sometimes we tend to forget, that life is all about those little moments. It's all about, enjoying and savoring those special times, those little times that we forget because of work, because of the stress that every day brings. And we also talk about, some of the cultural differences that we've experienced moving here in North America. So, Tom, I'm going to ask you a question before we answer some of the
Yes, please
questions.
ask me a
S-
question.
so, what is your favorite part of the book? And then we'll answer some questions. So, please ask all your
So
questions while
and
Tom is answering.
and I have a question for you that I've seen in the chat afterwards. My favorite part of the book is the beginning of it because that talks about the connection that you and I have, the story that we share, and how we got to the US, how we still our stories were intertwined, how our stories were the same in the parallel, and we always did the same things. We're always friends since we were 12 years old. We went to the US at the same time. We went to two schools that were in Mississippi and in Ohio. We had the same kind of culture shocks. And that's why we started to post on social media. And then that's why we wanted to write a book and have that little guide about it. So my favorite part is whenever we talk about our friendship and how we grew together and how we're where we are today. But then what I love the most is that all the little tips that we're giving in the book is actually something that now I'm using, because whenever you're actually writing the book, you're actually talking about it, you're meeting your friend on the Zoom every single week to talk about the book, to write about the book, you don't realize that there are things that you can do to better your life until you actually think about what you can do
Yeah.
to do so. And writing the book allowed me to rest more, to take a walk whenever I can, not drive everywhere, to go to the market to get better quality food, to be able to cherish my relationship, whether it is with my partner, my best friends, my family, my brother, my mother, my mom, my dad, my whoever it is. That book made me realize that there was so much more that we had to offer and so much more that you and I didn't know about each other. And that was my favorite part about writing the book and reading the book and making everything together, is
Yeah.
that I got to do it with you. So I'm very
Yeah.
glad about
It's
that.
we don't want to get too emotional because if I cry, obviously I won't be able to speak. But definitely, like Tom said, writing a book help you rediscover yourself. Take a look at angles of your friendship that you've never really realized before, and have the conversations that we've never really wanted to talk about. Because when you write a book, you open yourself so much, and that's exactly what we did in Pardon Our French. It's not just a guide to live your life a little more.
Hey guys, I think we lost Alex. Hey, how is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Alex, are you still here? Yes, I can see you here. Okay,
Back.
how are you? I think we lost you for a little bit, and we probably don't have the live on Instagram. I'm gonna join in again because it just cut. So let me go back on it for you to be able to see maybe the Wi-Fi. But if we lost each other and you're still on the live show here on the talk shop, I saw one of the questions that was about asking that question and talk about it in French. Donc, je vais vous parler un petit peu plus de ce livre, parce que ce livre, il est vraiment très important pour nous. C'est quelque chose qui nous a pris à peu près 2 ans à écrire, et Alex et moi, on était ensemble, on a fait plein de rendez-vous sur Zoom où on écrivait le livre, et on a passé tellement de temps à réfléchir à ce qu'on pouvait écrire, à tous les petites choses qu'on pouvait essayer de vous donner à travers ce livre, qu'on ne fait pas tous les jours sur les réseaux sociaux, grâce à nos vidéos, et de rentrer un petit peu plus en profondeur sur notre amitié, aussi sur nos vidéos en ligne, sur comment on est dans la vie de tous les jours et comment les Français sont dans la vie de tous les jours pour pouvoir peut-être appliquer les mêmes choses dans notre quotidien. Et c'est pour ça qu'on a écrit le livre, et c'est pour ça qu'on est tellement heureux de pouvoir en parler aujourd'hui. All you have to do now is to come and shop to be able to get your signed copy. And I'm going to join Alex back on Instagram, because right now we're just here together, but I'm going to join you and be all together. And hopefully you have more questions for us. If you're on YouTube, please come and shop as well. I have a question from Cardinals fan. I have a question for you too. What are the main similarities between French and Spanish? And what words in French have Spanish origins? So I could not answer the second question, but I'm pretty sure that for the first one, we have the same kind of food culture and rest culture as well. Napping is very important for French people as much as it is for Spanish people. So let me go back into the Instagram live. I can still see myself with Alex. He hasn't still gone back to it. So let me see how everything going. I'm back. I'm back, everybody. So, yes, I hope everybody is doing well. One more time, you can come and shop to get a signed copy of our new book and for you to be able to discover more about the French lifestyle, the French habits that you can use daily, every single day, and better your life with it. Alex, I had a question for you that I a little bit answered, but we were not on the Instagram live when that happened. Can you answer a bit more about the book, but in French? Can you talk about it for a little bit, but in French? So, en français. Alex, before you keep going, unmute on Talk Shop because people cannot hear you out there. So you should be on the
Okay.
there. That's perfect. We have the
C'est bon, c'est
sound.
bon, c'est bon, c'est bon.
We're all
Now they
good.
can
And
hear me.
now, Alex, I have another question that I will be answering with you. Do your parents are featured in the book? So are your parents featured in the book? So here are
Yes.
they. Yes, they are. So we have multiple things that are gonna go into the book. First, we're gonna have ourselves. Then we're gonna have some guides, some tips, some advice for you to get better every day, and also our personal life. So we're gonna have some recipes from my mom on the cooking chapter of the book, like cuisine. Then you're also gonna get a recipe from me, and probably the funniest story in the book is one about Alex and his dad. So I'm not gonna say it,
Yes.
I'm not gonna say more about it, but this was the very first time we were in New York with Alex and his dad. And that was one of the funniest things that I've ever witnessed. And all you have to do is to read it in the book. So
Yeah,
come
we
and
were.
shop if you want to get your copy signed, and also if you want to read that story and much more about our parents, about our life, and the little guide that we have for you. That's right there. We took so many
Yeah.
years to write it and was very, very, very happy to finally be able to publish it in September. So
Yeah.
again, thank you
They
so much for
are.
being here today.
There are so many stories in this book, and we welcome any questions. I actually have a filter on my chat that allow me to watch and look at every questions. What made you decide to publish this book? That's a really good question. And we got this question, if I see well, from Taylor on Instagram. So Taylor, the reason why we decided to write a book is because after 4 or 5 years of filming videos and posting videos online, we decided we wanted to do more than just posting videos, because videos only allow you to talk about to talk for 30 seconds, 1 minute, and it becomes often the same things over and over and over again. And there was so much more that we wanted to share to the world about the way we grew up, about our lives here as expats living in the US. And this book is basically a testimonial of us growing up in France and balancing between two cultures, and understanding that there's not a better culture, but there's a way of using traveling and a culture to help you like better yourself, and in your everyday life and in everything you do. So it's just because we had so much more to share, that we thought that a book was the best way to do it, instead of doing it in like a 20, 30, 1 hour video. But good question, Taylor. Another question, Tom, that you see.
Yes, so what brought you to the US? So that's a very good question. And we talk about it also in the book because that's the original story. So, how we came to the US and how did we end up making videos, and then how did we end up writing a book? So, we came to the US first because Alex and I were soccer players, and our dream was to become professional soccer players. And as you know, It did not happen because we're right here and we're on social media every day and you can see us. We don't post about soccer as often as maybe when there is an event or whenever there's a big tournament, we talk about it, but we do not play soccer on our channel because this is maybe something we could do in the future, but this is not about the niche that we have and everything that we want you to be able to discover about yourself and about the French culture. But we came to the US at first because we wanted to keep playing soccer and also study. Because in France, you have to make a choice, either at 18 years old or maybe sometimes at 16. You have to choose in between playing soccer, doing your studies, or starting to work. And we decided to go in the US with a soccer scholarship and do both because we were
Yeah,
not ready to put either one on the side and we wanted to have our masters, we wanted to have a shot at becoming pro in the US, and we
absolutely.
wanted to be playing soccer and be together in this country. So
Yeah,
that's why we came to the US first, and that's why we now talk about cultural differences from the US and from France on social media,
yeah.
because during the pandemic we were stuck in the US and we started making videos. So that's
Yeah.
how we started.
That is exactly how we started. Just like Tom said, the power of sports definitely brought us together as friends, but also allowed us to live here in the US and start social media. So you never know where your dreams can take you, to be honest, even if you don't realize them. There's a question. Does the book deliver only from the US? There's a question from KH123 on YouTube. Yes, so the signed copies will only be for the US market. Okay, so if you live in the US and you're watching from Facebook or YouTube, all you need is to click on the link in the description. Okay, you will get your signed copy by obviously adding it to your cart, and every copies will be signed on September 8th. So the week of September 8th, you should receive your copy. And if you're watching from Instagram, all you need to do is comment the word shop. If you comment the word shop, you should receive in your DM a message from Tom and I, orienting you to the website so you can pre order and get your signed copy the week of September 8th.
All you have to do is to comment shop. Also, if you're watching us on on the Talk Shop Live, or if you're watching us on the live right now on Instagram, please comment shop to get your signed copy. We'll be extremely happy to do so, and for you also to get exactly the kind of book that you want, and also for you to get a very specific and special edition. One more question, Alex, that I saw in the chat.
Yes.
How did you learn to speak English so well?
Ouh là là. Alors, je ne sais pas si je parle anglais si bien que ça, but I believe that, coming to a country where when you don't speak the language, which completely happened to Tom and I, we didn't speak a word of English before moving to the US. We didn't have a choice, right? We were with mostly Americans. It was something very natural. I believe that we also learned a lot through music, a lot through films, and the more you talk the better you get very naturally, and the same with the accent. Tom really kept his own accent, and
I
that's
do. I
and
still
that's
have my big French accent.
and that's amazing. We all learn differently. There's not a better way or a worse way to learn. I don't think people should get rid of their accent. I guess with me it really came very
Naturally.
naturally. I didn't force it, but this is kind of how we ended up speaking English pretty decently.
Yeah.
Tom, question for you.
Yes.
Someone is asking, how long have we been friends with? And this question is from Maxence on YouTube.
Alors, Maxence, j'ai vu que tu voulais qu'on parle un petit peu français aussi. Alex et moi, on se connaît depuis qu'on a 12 ans. So Alex and I, we know each other since we're 12 years old. We play soccer together, and then we did everything else together. We moved together at the same time in the US, not the same state, one in Ohio, the other in Mississippi. Then we were stuck together during the pandemic in the US, and then we started a social media career together, and we posted every single day since I think the first day was June 20th, if I remember well. So
Yeah.
it's June 20th, 2020. It's been since that day that we've been posting every single day. And now we also wrote a book together. So if you want a copy of it, please comment shop to get your signed copy if you're on the Talk Shop Live right now, or if you're in the Instagram Live as well. And if you're on YouTube, click on the link and get your signed copy,
Yeah.
because Alex and I, for us, it's one of the most special things we've ever done in our life. Okay, we've been interviewed and we have done interviews with amazing people, even with the president of France, which will maybe say something about the book. So I'm not saying more,
Yeah,
but you should probably get your copy by commenting shop if you want. Also, a little word from Emmanuel Macron, maybe, you never know. And Alex and I are extremely proud of everything that we've been doing since we started on social media and since we moved to the US. We also talk about the things that in the US are extremely important for you to understand and how to mix both cultures to be able to get the better
yeah,
out of both of them. So it's not just about the French culture, it's also about the American culture and how we mix both of them and how we blend everything, our biggest culture shocks, and also the things that we love the most. So it's about everything. And
yeah.
also, Alex, there's just Aham that said, is your book good for starting French or do we need to have some background? What do you have to say for just Aham?
So before that, okay, just
Yes,
make
yes,
sure I just got an info. If
yeah,
you're on Facebook, comment the word shop as
yes,
well.
please.
Okay. If you're on Facebook and Instagram, comment the word shop. Okay. And if you're on YouTube, there's a link pinned at the top of the chat and in the description that you can click to get your copy. So comment shop, 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 shop. So Tom, one more time with your question just to make sure.
So, is it good for someone that does not know how to speak French? Can you hear me, Alex?
It cut. So now you're back.
Okay, okay, I'm back. Okay, so is it a good book for somebody that does not speak any French and wants to start?
Absolutely. I think that it's actually the perfect book for any beginners because there is actually a lot of the times during the book we will be using French slang, French sentences, French basic words that you can incorporate in your daily French. Obviously the book is written in English, but there's a lot of French aspect to the book and a lot of teaching parts. So absolutely. And there's a good question here
Yes.
that I have from Jade on Instagram, who said, I've been following and learning from you guys since your beginning. Love to
Thank
see all
you.
of your newfound progressive
Merci.
success. Do you plan to do any long form videos? Maybe your own Netflix series?
Well, maybe thanks to the book that might happen. So all you have to do is to help us get there.
Yes.
The more you're gonna buy the book, the more we're gonna be able to get to these opportunities and show that we're more than content creators. We're also authors, we're world travelers. We're here to be able to help people and to guide them into a better life. So if you want us to be able to get that kind of deals, please come and shop to get your signed copy so we might at some point be able to talk about it on Netflix or any other live platform. That would help us so much. So I hope so. We tried to pitch in the past. It did not work at the time, but maybe after the book is released, it might help a little bit. So please help us on that. And I would love for everybody to be able to be at the premiere. So if you come and shop and you get your signed copy and one day we're on Netflix, I will swear and I will make sure that everybody that got on TalkShop today and got the signed copy will be at the premiere. I hope that will happen.
So we have a question from Larry who said, "Can you
Yes,
talk a little more about the topics in your book?" So of course, so
yes.
remember the heart of the book is a guide to live life a little more French. So obviously, think of every life topics. For example, friendships, dating, cooking, corporate life, everyday life. Basically, the book is basically divided into chapters. For example, one of the chapters will be talking dating like the French. So when it comes to dating like the French, there's a lot of differences between the US and France. For example, in France, we like to take our time a lot more. We take dating as a way to rediscover ourselves, to discover a new person. We don't like to put any labels when it comes to dating. For example, we don't ask our partners out, and that's all of these little things, all the little tips that we give when it comes to dating the French way. Okay, obviously we're not perfect. We're just giving our sense and our way of loving. Okay, because dating is not just dating. There's also a way of loving in French, where words are very important, where actions are very important. We're talking also about fashion, right? How to dress the French way. What kind of clothes do French people wear? Because
And we have a guest. Sorry to cut you, Alex, but for the fashion, it's
yes,
not only us. We also have a guest that talks about it. And the chapter about fashion is gonna be about Alex and that guest. Who's gonna be that guest, Alex?
So that guest is going to be one of our really good friends who just got married, actually. So congrats to
Congrats to you.
Léane Onsard, who literally is the best French American influencer when it comes to fashion. She co-wrote a chapter with us about fashion and about dressing confidently the French way. Because in France, dressing is all about being confident in your skin. It's all about coming out of your house feeling like you dressed, and the way you dress reflects who you are. In the US, for example, dressing is a lot about wearing comfy clothes. It's all about the comfort aspect. When you're comfortable, maybe you feel more yourself, maybe you're more confident. In France, it's a little different approach to this, which is what we're talking about in the book. Tom, what about the cooking aspect of the book? Can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about
So
what's the cooking chapter?
the cooking chapter is a bit more about how we do it in France. So, where do we get our food? How do we cook it? Because it's going to be different. When do we eat it as well? And how do we eat it? So, we're going to be at a big table. We're going to take long breaks. We're going to be able to have conversations. We're not going to have the TV in the background. I'm not going to give you more because you need to read
I
the
was
book
gonna
to
say.
be able to know all of those tips. All you have to do is to come and shop. But know that there will be my mom's recipe in there about
Ooh.
my favorite plate and my favorite meal that she makes, and it will be inside the book. And also, my best dessert, I'll make the galette des rois, the king cake. The recipe is also in the book. So if you also want to cook thanks to that beautiful, pardon our French, the Persian way to a happier life, you also might be able to do so. So all you have to do right now is to come and shop to get your signed copy if you're on TalkShop Live, if you're on Instagram Live, if you're on Facebook Live, or click on the link if you're on the YouTube channel right now. So, Alex, one more question. Somebody asked again, are you teaching French in the book? So we want
Yeah.
that to be clear for everybody. Are we teaching French, Alex?
So we are not, straightly teaching French. The book, like I've said, is a guide. Okay, it's written in English. However, we will talk about the French language. We will explain why the French language is seen as a very romantic language. We will explain kind of also the behind the scene of the slang that we use and all that. So yes, there are a lot of moments in the book where we're going to teach you specific words, expressions, slang that you can use in your vocabulary, in your French, whether you're an A1 student or a C2 student. So it's not a grammar book or a conjugation book. It's, like I said, a guide where inside you will be getting the chance to learn some French. Okay. And someone talked about a book tour. So
Yes.
before we talk about the book tour, I want to remind you, if you're watching the live from Facebook or Instagram, please comment the word shop to get your signed copy. It will be sent the week of September 8th. And this is the first time ever we're giving the chance for people to get a special signed copy from Tom and I. So if you want your autograph, okay, comment shop on Facebook and Instagram. And if you're watching from YouTube, click on the link in the description or in the pinned comment also of the chat. So, Tom, what about
Yes.
book tour? We've never talked
So
about a book tour.
the book tour will be happening. It's probably going to be in between probably the second week of September, and we'll be hitting the big cities. Everybody that wants us to come through, please comment your city in the
In
chat
the
so we'll be
chat,
able to know.
tell
Please,
us what
where
cities
are
in the
you
chat.
and where should we go? We're thinking about New York, Philadelphia, Washington, maybe Chicago, New Orleans, LA. Is there anywhere else we should absolutely go? Please let us know as well. I'm from Chicago, but starting a French school soon. I'm an A2
Ooh.
as well. So, any tips? Yes, I have an amazing tip for you. Learn the French culture with us in our book. You're gonna be able to learn all about the French culture and some of the basic words and sentences for you to get started. And then at some point we'll open back our French club, so maybe you'll be able to join us. Well, that's for something else. That's for later. Now we're talking about the book, and we want you to be able to join us whenever you can and be able to get your signed copy. So all you have to do is to comment shop if you're on the Talk Shop Live right now on Instagram Live or Facebook Live, and to click on the link if you're watching from YouTube.
Yeah.
Alex, I have more. I have another question
Yes.
from Azam. Wish I could take a talk in French perfectly. The French are making everything romantic, I guess. Is there anything romantic in the book?
There's a lot of romantic things. The entire book is romantic. No, I'm kidding. Like I've said, of course, we talk about romance, how to speak French with a bit more romantic touch, how to live more romantic. Because whether it's in your relationship or in your friendship, you always want to be romantic, right? The way you behave, the way you speak, the way you dress, you always want to please people in a certain way. And we definitely talk about this, how to be playful, all those little things that we do naturally because we grew up French. We try to talk about it in details in the book, so maybe you can start doing it as well, no matter where you are in the world. And there's a lot of amazing questions. Do you address cultural differences between different regions in France? Absolutely.
Great question.
And the France is not just Paris. In the book, we talk a lot about Brittany. We talk a lot about Dijon. We talk a lot about the south of France. We talk a lot about different things that aren't just Paris, because we know that France is a big country and Paris isn't the only place in France. Okay. Another question that we have, let me see. I'm from Chicago. No, Tom answered that question. There's a lot of cities you guys want us to go to. I see Dallas. I see Boston. I see New York. I see Miami. Okay, Chicago, Canada. So, Elaine, for this book, for the signed copy of the book, it's only going to be for the United States. Okay. For Canada, you can order the book as well. But for now, all the signed copy are only for the United States. Tom, let's answer maybe a couple of more questions
Yes,
because I feel
please.
like there's a
Keep
lot of good
asking.
questions in the
Well, we
chat.
have
Let's see.
someone said Arthur said 6-7, 6-7. So that's
Ah, mon Dieu.
that's the French way of 6-7. Come to Atlanta. That's true. There's lots of Francophile there. Maybe we'll also be able to come there for the book too. Hi from New York, Bianca. Comment ça va? I hope you're doing so well. So one more time before everybody asks the last questions, can you comment shop only if you want to get your signed copy of our amazing book, our guide that's coming out in less than 3 weeks. It's coming out September 8th, and we're gonna be able to talk about it and make a book tour and have everything for you inside that book to learn about the French culture and give you some tips on how to better your life mentally and also physically. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. And some more questions, please, in the chat.
So
We
I
have
have one
nobody.
is I love
Yeah.
you in French. Okay.
Oh,
So Tom, I'll let you teach that one.
je l'aime bien ce mot. C'est très joli. C'est un mot en français qui est, qui est un verbe réflexif. Donc, on va utiliser, so it's a reflexive verb that we're going to use because we're going to have je at first, I, and then T apostrophe. So here is going to be the you part in English, but in French, we put it as reflection. Like, I am loving yourself so much that it comes from me. So, je t'aime. Je t'aime. Je t'aime. And that's how you'll be able to
Yeah.
pronounce it.
And
Now,
one of the things we talk about also in the book is the subtlety, the subtle way that French is being spoken. For example, in French, we don't say "I miss you," we say "Tu me manques,"
exactly.
which is "you're missing from me." And I think
Mhm.
that there is a lot of parts of the French language is so interesting to study, and that's exactly what we talk about in the book. So,
Alex,
um,
tu viens d'où en France? Where are you from in France?
alors, je suis de Paris, et toi?
Moi, je suis de Paris aussi. On est tous les deux de Paris. We're both from Paris. We've grew up there. We met there, and we moved from Paris to the US when we were 18 years old. And now we wrote a book 8 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. So this is gonna be your last chance, okay? Once this school is over, once this live is over, I don't know if you'll get the chance to get your signed copy. So please, if you want to get your signed copy of our new book, Pardon Our French, The Parisian Way to a Happier Life, all you need to do is if you're on Facebook or Instagram, comment the word shop. Okay. So if you comment shop, you will get a private message from Tom and I with a link. This link will direct you to the website, the Talk Shop Live. You'll be able to get your signed copy. And just so you can remember, this is the first ever time we're giving the chance for people to get their signed copies of our new book. If you're watching from YouTube, please click on the link in the description or the pinned comment in the chat. you should be able to get it to the website and then order your copy. So Tom,
And so,
any
yeah, someone said that aime is also to like. So I have a little tip for you here to be able to know if someone friends on you or if someone loves you. So usually if you say je t'aime, then you're probably into the love kind of relationship. However, if somebody adds bien at the end, I am so sorry, you are probably friend zoned. So if you hear je t'aime bien, if you said je t'aime first and somebody said je t'aime bien back, I'm sorry to break it to you, but the friend zone is probably
uh,
entering the chat. So,
c'est la vie,
it
right?
happens, you know.
C'est la vie. We all got heartbroken in our lives, and it's okay. You will learn from it, and we talk about it in the book too. So, someone last question I will answer before
Yes,
leaving, guys. Remember, we want to see as many comments saying
come
shop,
on,
shop,
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 shop. This might be
shop,
your
please.
last
One
chance
more
to
time.
ever
Just shop.
get our signed copy of the book. So comment shop, 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 shop if you're on Facebook or on Instagram, or click the link in the description for YouTube. Last question is there anything that we feel like we wish we would have added to the book and that we leave out? No. To be
I
honest,
don't
this
think
is
so.
why it took us 2 to 3 years to write this book, because we wanted to make sure that this book is a perfect reflection of our story as friends, but also our individual stories as French people who grew up in Paris that now live in the United States. And honestly, it's been like an insane joy to write this book with my best friend, and we cannot wait for you to discover it, to read it, and to live your life a little more French. So one more time, comment the word shop to get your official signed copy by Tom and I. Okay?
Come on,
Anyone?
shop, shop, shop. I see lots of chat in the chat. In the chat, it makes me very happy. So please keep writing shop because we're about to leave soon, and I don't want you to leave with regrets and maybe get the book later without the signed copy. Right now, it's for you to get your signed copy and for you to be able to learn about the French culture. So all you have to do is to write shop in the chat if you're on TalkShop Live, if you're on the Instagram Live or on the Facebook Live, and if you're on YouTube, click on the link and get your book as well. So come on, shop, 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 shop right now. Top Alex, one last thing.
All
Top three
right.
places to visit in France other than Paris.
Okay, so I'm gonna be very niche. All right, for me, number three, there's a city called Dinard, which Dinard is located in
Not bad.
Bretagne. Okay, aka Brittany. My second city that I will suggest that's a little more popular, but not as popular as Paris, is Annecy. Okay, I think it's one of the
Ooh.
most beautiful lake in the world. And then lastly, I will give you the French California, which is located in the southwest of France. It's called
Yeah,
Osegor. So
I
that's
like
my
that
top three,
answer.
very niche. What about you, Tom, if you had one before we leave?
Honestly, what you said was already amazing. But what I would add, maybe like if I had to put a top five, so I keep your top three, and I would add Saint Malo because
Okay, good.
you're very close from the border with England, and you can just take the boat and go back and forth, and it's a very charming city.
Okay.
And then I would say Reims, because first you'll need to know how to pronounce it, and then you'll be able to have the most beautiful Christmas markets there. And my grandma is from there, so I had to say something that was from the heart. So my
Yeah.
grandma from Reims, and she's still living there today, and I'm very happy that I got to go there at some point. But guys, if you ever want to surf and to have the best summer, you need to go to Osegor. This is an
Yeah.
amazing city,
It's
and
it's a hidden
it's
gem
not
that nobody
it
knows
is a
about.
hidden gem because you cannot drive, you cannot fly there, you cannot go by a train as well. You have to drive there or to
Yeah.
go by train and then drive there. So
Yeah.
it's a very hidden gem. Now,
It's totally
one last
worth
time
it.
before we go, comment shop to get your signed copy of our new book and for you to be able to join us into that amazing adventure that I've been having with Alex since we moved to the US. And if you're on TalkShop Live, on Instagram, on Facebook, all you have to do is to come and shop to receive your copy. And if you're on YouTube, all you have to do is to click on the link and get your copy as well and be part of our adventure. Again, if you're on this live and if you've been following our videos since the very beginning, we're very thankful because without you, we would have never been able to write this book. It would have never been possible. And it really reflects everything that we've seen in our life and everything that we've been thinking about very deeply. And it took us a long time. And it really, we know like we always put our big smile, we always try to make everybody laugh, but it's also it was also a moment for us to get more deep into our connection with Alex, our friendship, and also everything about the French culture that makes our life better. So we really wanted for you, if we really wanted you to be able to get all that, and we don't think that anybody else wrote anything like that before, and we really wanted to make it different than any other book. So we hope
Yeah,
that you're gonna enjoy the read and that you're gonna have the best time reading it, because that's
yeah,
all we had in mind whenever we started writing. So thank you
absolutely.
very much, and one more time, write shop to get your signed copy.
Yeah, and if you ordered the book before today's live, unfortunately, those aren't gonna be signed copies. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
no,
This
no, that's not true. All they have to do is to come to the book tour.
Yes, exactly. So if you have a copy of the book and you want to bring it on the book tour, of course, but today and
Yes,
today only
idea.
is going to be the only possibility for you, an opportunity for you to get your signed autograph on
But
your copy.
you know
So
what I
come
would
and
do, Alex?
shop. What
If
would you
you
do?
already if you already got your copy and you want a signed one from the Talk Shop Live right now, please come and shop. And that way, the other book will be the Christmas gift that you will give somebody that
Yes,
loves to that loves friends, that loves to go to friends, that loves to learn French. So come and shop right now to get your signed copy, and then the copy that you already have, you can gift it to somebody else. That's
absolutely. If
that's
you
that's
already
one
have a
of the best.
copy, you can always get a second one. At least
Yes.
this one will be a signed copy and give the other one to a friend, to a family member, to your partner, to your lover, to anybody. It's an amazing gift for any Francophile in the world. So, once again, comment the word shop on
Shop.
Facebook and Instagram to get your signed copy, or click the link in the bio for YouTube and get your autograph and their copy as well. Thank you, everyone, for staying with
Merci
us.
beaucoup. Thank you
And
tout le
à
monde.
bientôt. See you.
À
Ciao,
bientôt. Au
ciao.
revoir. Ciao.